Okay, we're ready to start. Bryson, are you in the room? Oh, okay. Can somebody else do a little introduction? Jenna, please introduce our filmmaker. His name is yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's mics up there. Mics up there. You go and do it. Everybody get in your seats because Jenna is going to introduce the filmmaker and she's never done it before. So I want to see some respect and love. Yeah, I think they know him. I think he's local. I think so.
Okay. Ooh, that is pretty cool. Hi, I've never done this before, but I have seen this film. Um, it's amazing film. I was touched when I watched it, moved to tears at moments too. We are lucky to have Share here tonight with us, who this is his story. This is his family. Um, I don't know what else to say, but other than please welcome Share. So sorry. I know. I didn't know what else to say. This is last minute, so.
This is, I mean, this already made my night hearing her. Um, thank you. Thank you all for being here at the 2026 Veterans for Peace National Convention. I think we pretend in this country to care about our veterans or to give them the respect they deserve. And yet, I'm wondering where are there should be more veterans here. We know that. And there should be active duty here as well. There should be the entire city of Kansas City here for peace. We are. And I think it's important that we manifest the belief within each other and within the works that we've been doing and the good out of our communities. We spend so much time on the tragic and the oppression that's facing us. And yet we then neglect the blessings that are all around us. And I can see that for a fact by experiencing a single phone call with my family in Gaza. And I have to learn the lessons day in and day out of how absolutely drowning in privilege we truly are, and how much that privilege will be weighed against us if we don't use it to its maximum to bless those around us in our communities, our neighbors, our families, and our friends. And I see here warriors who, despite the fact that we are a small group, we still believe in peace truly. I I know there's apparently happening a peace process in my homeland. And yet I don't get, why doesn't my grandma Sabah have a seat at the table? And yet the Kushners somehow do. If they could just hear her story from Yaffa as a little girl having her home stolen, told she was going to return in 2 weeks, being trapped in the Gaza Strip her whole life. My drive from the Kansas City airport to this venue was longer than she's traveled most of her entire life. A 25-mile by 5-mile piece of land, and that piece of land is being bombed by the most sophisticated weapons known to man. And so things are not business as usual. And it's a stain on each and every one of us if we don't do all that is in our power. I want to introduce my film quickly. This is a documentary I produced within the first 90 days of this genocide. It's called Gaza is Our Home. I made it and I released it. Actually, in fact, the first time I screened it was in front of 50 people at a venue. I booked a screening for a film I hadn't completed yet because I needed it to get out. I spent day in and day out from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. editing this film. Finished it in 1 month on my own and began screening it everywhere I could get someone to host it. It's a snapshot and a very tiny, tiny, tiny glimpse of what our family is facing in Gaza. And I say our family because my goal and hope is that after watching this film, you will also have loved ones in Gaza too. And you can say that your family is there and that you will use that by extension. That would mean that you all are family with each other. And that means that you have to support and build communities in your cities and where you reside. I think Gaza is a snapshot of what family truly means when you realize that those that are digging each other out of they're digging strangers out of the rubble while the airstrikes are still happening around them. Would we do that? Or are we afraid of strangers and their neighbors? Gaza is one community, and I think the world should be learning from that. I hope this film, as an invitation to my family, will continue to spread that way. Thank you all, and let's get started.
صاروا شدا شايل هموم بس اتركوني لحالي بروح مش حاب الوحدة كاره كل الكون والنفس ما بتهون أبيض واسود دنيا بلا لون راحت روحي والقلب الحنون استحميت وجفت بجفون يلي غبتون عيون اللي سحرتوها انرمى قدراني من الأنين اتكلمت شوفكم داوت وعلمت راحت ولا سلمت قسمنا حياة ولا كملت وقلوب حبت لما الحياة تصعب علي سيفي في قلبي وبدي آسف يا شوق هانت عيني هاجس لئيم بكويني كي بديش أشوف حالي أنا كيف بموت حياتي مش سيعاني ساد السكوت بسيط مش مثالي عكس الوجود وخيركم في سلالي أنا مش جحود نفس المكان والصفر برجع
if they knew what I knew, they'd do something.
If they saw what I saw, they'd say something.
If they felt what I felt,
If they'd seen what I've seen,
if they knew who I knew,
then surely they'd feel what we're feeling.
maybe they just don't know.
Maybe they don't want to know.
Maybe they would care. They just haven't been shown.
Maybe I didn't tell them.
Maybe I didn't show them. Maybe we didn't.
Teach them.
Introduce yourself.
Sure.
I mean, I know you don't want to. We don't want to have to be doing this.
No, I don't. Yeah. I'm Nabiha. My entire family live in Gaza. I have about 200 family members living in Gaza. That includes, my grandmother, my aunts and uncles, and my cousins.
What is Gaza?
Gaza is an area of historic Palestine that has been named a number of things: an open-air prison, a concentration camp, more recently an extermination camp. It is an area in historic Palestine that is about 5 miles by 25 miles. In Gaza, there is over 2.2 million people who live within its confines. It has been considered to be in siege by the settler colony Israel since 2005. They do not have access to clean drinking water. They do not have access to their own fuel or electricity. They are prevented from collecting rainwater or well water. Everything that comes in, anyone who goes out is tracked, is factored in, is only allowed in or out by the will of the settler colony of Israel. My parents were born and raised in Gaza. My dad's family historically lived in Gaza City. My mom's family are internally displaced refugees from Yafa and from Bir Sabah. Gaza is our home, it's our heart, it's our soul. It is the place we go to when all we want to do is see our family. It has been hard to get there. It is even harder to leave there. Growing up, anytime we got to go back to Palestine, we were always stuck there for a month, 2 months, however long, due to the ongoing bombings and war campaigns that have happened in Gaza by the settler colony over the years. But Gaza, to me, a person who's part of the diaspora, it is my identity. It is my promise. It is my honoring the generations of Palestinians that came before me, my own ancestors, those that were displaced and those that currently live and suffer under occupation. It is the continuation of what all indigenous people understand, which is our resistance, our life source.
So I wanted to actually start with, I saw a photo a while back on your Facebook from 2012 when we went to visit.
I would have been just shy of 16. I would have been 15.
Would you say that's our first time going?
Oh, absolutely not. No, we went a lot as children. So we went once before the 3rd grade. So you would have been just before the 1st grade. And then again before 5th grade. For me, 5th grade. And we got stuck there for
I remember that.
a month and a half. I remember.
In 3rd grade, I missed fractions.
So you still don't know fractions?
It was bad. I missed fractions because we got stuck in Gaza.
Yes. I remember sitting in the house that we built in Shajaiya. It's no longer there.
זריחה בחורבות סג'איה שהייתה של היישוב.
And I remember watching Mom call the school district, and she was trying to explain to them the situation. I remember her telling them, please don't drop my kids from school, please don't unenroll them, we're trying to get out, we haven't been able to, we're working with the State Department to get them to get us out. I just remember that call. And I remember Dad working with his university to try to encourage the State Department to find a way to help us get out during the constant bombardment. Couldn't get out. Israel controls our movements in and out. We can't just leave even though we're American citizens. I remember the State Department was gonna send in a helicopter, I think it was, and then they deemed it unsafe, and so we were just stuck there for a month and a half to 2 months, I would say. I remember sleeping in the guest room with my aunt and the bombs dropping, and I recall asking her, how do you know if it's gonna fall on you when you hear the sound? Because I would get really terrified, of course. And she would say that if you hear the plane, then you know it didn't hit you. Because what you could do is you would hear, I think the sequence was you would hear the whistle of the bomb coming down, and then you would hear the plane, and then you would hear the bomb. And I remember it always terrified me, and I remember my young cousins being able to tell me what kind of plane it was, what kind of bomb was being dropped, what kind of gun was being shot, based just on the sound. And these were young kids, they were only 6.
Do you remember at Tante Sammy's when she was bringing in the tea? I don't know if you were there. She was bringing a tray of tea over, and the bomb hit, and the glasses all broke and shook and broke, and I was 12 years old.
Wow.
It shook me to my core. Like, this was in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Beautiful day. No words to describe it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, for years in Gaza, even under times of so-called peace or ceasefire, you really never know about your safety. You never know when the next bomb is gonna drop. It is pervasive. And so I remember we were in our apartment on the 5th floor of this beautiful home that we built, and I remember trying to just take an American moment out. I just wanted to like decompress for a minute, go on Facebook, connect with my friends in the US. And I remember sitting in my living room on my computer when a bomb dropped not even a mile in front of our house. Absolutely terrifying experience in general. And I remember running straight to the window to see where it was. My dad was with me in the living room, and he freaked out and yelled at me to get away from the window, hurry up, get away from the window, and went and turned off the lights. And I remember looking and so confused, like, why are you telling me to get away from the window? Why did you just turn off the lights? And he told me that if the Israelis can see you, there's a chance that you could be sniped. There's a chance that they could try to target you next. And this is just like a type of knowledge, again, that I just never had. I never experienced. It's like a very unique knowledge of survival that I would have never considered or thought of. It's similarly that same time when we were there. I remember just sitting in my guest room and again, just suddenly a bomb going on. And I was by myself at that time. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the power had been out too. And I remember panicking, like just complete fear, and getting up really quickly and trying to run to the front door to not be alone. And before I even reached for the doorknob to open it, I had 4 or 5 cousins running up the stairs, opening the door, being like, "Are you okay? It's fine, don't worry about it, you're okay." And I just like, in that moment, just like really shows just the beauty of these people, even as children, that were in the same situation as me, right? They are also hearing this bomb drop. They should also be terrified. And their first thought was, Nabiha's alone upstairs. We need to get to her. We need to go make sure she feels okay and that she knows she's not alone. It just like, even to now, just really shows the beauty of these children. You're talking about 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds running to me just to say, "Hey, you're okay." And it's just like, right now I'm reflecting on it. I want to tell them, who are now, they're adults and they have their own children. I wish I could tell them, "Hey, you're okay."
That reminds me, because one of the nights when I was trying to spend the night at cousin Saeed's house, it was maybe midnight. I was 12 years old, so the strikes happened. The fear I felt was unlike anything I'd experienced in my life. I wasn't with my family for that night. And I remember like trying to just wash my face in the bathroom, and the mirror just shaking. Because the planes would go back and forth multiple times after.
Right.
I thought I was in hell. And it's not even remotely comparable to anything they've experienced since just 2021, like when we went.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that conflict before?
Well, there's something really significant about what you said first. You know, the fear, but also it not being comparable to what they experience their whole lives. And I think about us, and collectively, I would say if you added all the time that I was in Gaza, it would be just shy of 2 years worth of my life. And I think about times when I'm safely in my apartment in Florida, you know, under security and no threat of being bombed. And I think about the times when I hear an airplane go over me, and there's a part of my brain that for a moment panics and asks, is there a bomb that's about to be dropped? Am I about to hear the whistle or the explosion of a bomb dropping? And I have to consistently remind myself, no, you're in America. That doesn't happen here. No, you're not in Gaza. That's what they experience there. And it happens so frequently, you know, talking about commercial airlines. And that's the impact that I've had in just short spurts of time being in Gaza. And I think about the impact that it must have on them and how pervasive that has to be for each and every single one of them, right? They're not especially made in iron and armor because they live in those conditions. You know, they are just as susceptible to the injury and to the pain of living under constant bombardment and constant aggression and constant genocide.
This torment that they've endured and still maintain some sense of dignity and culture and identity and life. And it appears that that is what they're trying to destroy entirely.
Yeah, my cousins and my aunts, they always love to ask me this question specifically. What's the biggest difference between America and Gaza? As if there isn't a very long list. But I always told them, you guys know how to live life. You guys know how to celebrate life and find joy in all things and bring like a true beauty to this life. You'll find ways to celebrate at the beach, to have hangouts, to play games with one another. I think it's one of the most like significant things about the people of Gaza is their love for life and their ways of finding joy and bringing everyone around into their joy with them. Is that saying, you know, بدنا نفرح فيك. We want to celebrate you. We want to have a happiness for your happiness.
We had finally, after how long, planned a trip to Gaza for the summer of 2021.
Well, we had tried to go before. We had tried to go in 2014. I believe it was May of 2014. And the night before our flights, we canceled them. We had just finished packing, getting through all of the gifts that we wanted to give everyone, and we started bombing and we couldn't go. We wouldn't be able to, so we had to cancel our tickets. And we finally got to try in 2021. At that point, it was, you know, going on 10 years since the last time we were there in 2012. In May, from May 10 to May 22, 12 days, it was a constant bombardment on Gaza by Israel. And it was one of the most terrifying times for the people of Gaza. We received multiple calls from our sitta, my grandmother, and in each of those calls you can hear the bombs dropping in the background. You can hear the fear in her voice, the amount of tired and exhausted that she was.
يما
يما
شو مالك؟ ايش مالك؟
ولا شي يما ولا اشي والله ولا اشي. هيدي بس واقفة عند الشباك بس خايفة.
وين بضربوا يما؟ وين بضربوا؟
وين الضرب هذا؟ يا خرابي ديارهم اللي انقصف عطورهم. حي التفاح مش بعيد وحي الزيتون حوالينا هيو.
طب وايش سووا يا علي انا. طب
سيارة بتطلع. يما 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 خدي
سجل محمود.
انهار البرج انهار البرج انهار البرج انهار البرج انهار البرج.
يا حبيبي يا ما يا حبيبي وين الأربعة وينهم؟ وينهم؟ الله أكبر.
I remember my cousins telling me about how terrifying those 12 days were. How the body engages in fight or flight and it impacts you with symptoms you never want to talk about. How they were taking turns using the restroom because their systems just could not handle the constant fear that the next bomb would drop on them. I have a really young cousin. Her name is Rawan. She was born with an autoimmune disease that impacts her muscles. It took her a very long time to learn how to walk. She actually didn't learn how to walk until she saw my younger brother there when he was only 3 years old walking around, and she realized, oh, I think I can do that too. Because of that 20 21 bombing, her system literally lost its ability to walk again. And she had extreme terrors, extreme fears, extreme anxiety, and she would end up in screaming panic attacks for 12 days. And this is what so many children across Gaza experience, the different versions of night terrors or day terrors, not being able to sleep from the amount of bombing, not being able to go about your day, of course, because of the bombing. And it's not, you know, strategic targeting of whatever Israel deems is important. It's the targeting of civilians, of homes, of striking terror to the 2.2 million Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. These are just regular folks that are being taken out and taken down.
Maybe we didn't teach them. Wait. We tried to teach them. We tried to show them. We tried to tell them.
Do they just not
care? One of the most traumatic videos we got out of Gaza was the home that we were sleeping in, my Sitto's home. Their neighbor, in the middle of the night, being struck by an airstrike. You can hear our cousins, Ahmed.
شوفني
إذا بدكم تعالوا على البحر ساعتين ساعة
مين أذكى؟
And Rutfut. Trying to calm his family down. And you can hear baby Sabah.
الله اكبر خفيف خفيف يا ساتر استغفر الله العظيم اشهد ان لا اله الا الله اشهد ان محمد رسول الله حسبي الله اشهد ان محمد رسول الله ضربوها حسبنا الله حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل لا إله إلا الله ضربوها سكر الشبابيك دخلها سكر الشبابيك خلاص طب خلاص لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
That's the home that houses over 40 people in our family.
That's our Sitto's home. That's our grandmother's home. That was our grandfather's home.
Yeah. My grandpa was very sick at that time too. Allah yarhamah.
All we wanted to do was go to Gaza and see our family. We hadn't seen them in so long. We wanted to be there with them. We wanted, obviously, the bombardment to stop.
A month after that 12-day bombardment of Gaza, we made the decision we were still going to go see our family.
And, you know, may God protect us, right?
We didn't know whether we'd come back.
But we can't let the settler colony win. And how could they win? By keeping us out.
We had to go through a lot of hurdles to get through the wall.
By making it so difficult, strenuous, and honestly terrifying to go back to our homeland, that we don't go. That would be them winning. So our going there is a part of our resistance.
There is no airport in Gaza. Correction. In fact, there was an airport. And President Bill Clinton actually cut the ribbon at the opening ceremony. However, in December 2001, Israeli armored bulldozers demolished the runway, and Israeli F-16 jets bombed the airport's radar center. There is no way for us to just visit our 150 plus family members.
Our going there and being with our family and celebrating with them and experiencing life with them and being in our home. That was a part of our resistance.
We had to go through so many hoops and challenges that were designed specifically to keep us from the moments that you're about to see.
مدري الدمع يا منير من العين مدري السما المطارة وينك مايلك عنوان قالوا اسمك ضاعت اخباره ولك البحر يا منير لا يبعدك عني لا سوي قلبي عبارة حبيبي جوا الغيم لك جوا الغيم يا منير ولك فوق الغيم لطير من غير طيار الله يا ويلي يا ولد اطلع على الجبل ونادي يا منير بعلى صوت نورتنا بغازة ولك يا منير لاطلع على الجبل ونادي لك نورتنا يا منير في غزة العزة يا منير ولك you are forcing all of me
طبعا يا حبيبي
يا شباب هاتوا لي حرام، هاتوا لي حرام، هاتوا لي حرام. يا الله شير
Do they just not care?
وبعدين بنسمع اصوات طلعوا ان شاء الله حد جد طلعهم مش اي عسكري كلهم مدنيين اطفال يا اخي مش هيك لا حول ولا قوة الا بالله حسبنا الله على كل واحد بشوفنا قاعد خطيتنا برقبتكم كلكم بشوفنا هلقيت قاعد ومش بيعملش شيء يا عم احنا بدناش اكل احنا بدناش شرب وقفوا العدوان كرمال الله مشان الاطفال بس
خليك تنفس
As I sit here contemplating the production of this video and gathering the photos of my family from my last trip in 2021, I'm hit with the reality of the pain that my people are feeling, and it has been paralyzing. As I look through the smiles and the life that I witnessed with my own soul, it becomes tough for me to know what the purpose of this film is, because I know so much has been stripped from them already.
بكفي الكسف أنا بديش أموت حرام عليهم والله ضلهم يكشفوا هدوم كسفوا دارنا إيش أسوي أنا والله قلبي بدق مش عارفة حاسة حالي إيش قلبي بدق ليش قلبي بدق والله أنا تعبت ليش باليهود بيعملوا فينا هيك والله أنا تعبت بقذفونا والله بقذفونا ليش بيعملوا فينا هيك اليهود الله
To be honest, it has been a life goal of mine to film a documentary about Gaza. My original hope for this film was to display the true beauty behind the people of Gaza. Years ago, I was hopeful of one day having the ability to film the beauty of my family, my 150 family members, and the beauty of the city. And so as I sit here attempting to edit this video, I can't help but wonder, what is the purpose? To display the smiles and the blessings that these beautiful people had possessed is what I'm struggling to say is the purpose of this video to show the humanity behind these civilians that are being murdered and destroyed and have been tormented for decades and have been stripped of their dignity and their will to live, been denied their pursuit of happiness day in and day out, have never left a 25-mile by 5-mile piece of land to visit the rest of the world. Is the purpose of this video to humanize us or to connect our faces to the realities of destruction? Hey. What's up? Oh, little brother, dinner's ready. As I struggle to go down and eat, while I know there's over 2 million people that have been starved and are currently dying of thirst. I want you to ask yourself, what makes us any different? What makes us more deserving of the food on our tables and in our fridges?
These are just regular folks that are being taken out and taken down.
يا بينا تشوف يا ابو هاب. ماشي خلاص. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أيوة قريب كله.
I will not be met at the day of judgment and told by my family members that I forgot them, or that I did not speak up for them, or that I did not share their stories. I will not be met on the day of judgment being told these things. We found out today, about 1 hour ago, that a US-funded F-16 piloted by an Israeli Zionist dropped a bomb on the home of my aunt, my Khatomana from my mom's side, killing at least 15 members of my family. Her husband, Abu Tariq, who was a pillar in our family, who was a friend,
Most righteous man,
an ally, a supporter, a teacher, an advocate. His children, including Muhammad, Mahmoud,
their daughters, Ola and Nada, as well as the children of Ola and Renda and all of their husbands. This is just blocks away, 2 blocks away from my grandmother's home, where over 40 of my family members are currently living.
Plus another 3 families that had their homes destroyed.
And they can't even go and see if there's anyone under the rubble that is capable of being rescued, capable of being treated. Because there are tanks in their neighborhood. Because there are tanks there. They can't leave their own house to go try to pull members of my family out of the rubble.
They killed our aunt with the most advanced jet that the US has to offer almost. That is not an accident. They are not collateral damage. They were in their homes. Yet the world turns away, ignoring its face. Amazing people. Their smiles are worth more than gold, but their stories are left untold. All that's left are the echoes of laughter in the air, despair.
Chanson, did y'all hear what he said? Whispering in the back.
I was just wondering that.
But now,
Hello.
This is my cousin Mohammed.
That's good.
He was born in Gaza.
It's good to be good. So, what do you guys think of what's going on these days?
it's the worst thing that's ever happened in my lifetime. But it's also the first time in my lifetime that more people are speaking out about Palestine than I've ever seen. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's thankfully due to the social media presence, you know, because these things happening for very, very long time, you know. I have all my family. I have 12 other siblings, my parents, and everyone in Gaza right now. I'm the only one who's here, so. Then I went there 22 days after 9 years. It was really, really hard even to get out because it's a prison, you know. People when go to the prison, it's very hard to get out, and that's the reality of it. And imagine, we don't have an airport, we don't have a seaport, we don't have any means like you can go in and out when you need. It's extremely difficult. When I tell my coworkers sometimes where I'm from and how long it take me to go and, you know, see my family, they don't believe it sometimes. They say, are you talking really these days in this day and age? You have to, because I have to fly to Cairo, then to go by land to cross about 350 kilometers, which is about maybe 200 some miles. It could take you a day to 2 days to weeks to really get to the point to cross to go to Gaza. And then the journey start when you're in to now to start worry about how can I go out. I talked to my dad today. Last time I was able to speak with him about 14 days ago. He was giving me like list of 9 names of my immediate family. This person, that person, this woman, this girl, this cousin. They're all just murdered. They're all just get killed in the past since last I spoke with him. It's very hard. And my older brother was telling me, believe it or not, people are boiling the olive leaves so they can eat. The olives, not the olives itself, the leaves of the olives, so they can find some food. Some family very hard. It's very difficult for them to find some food. Keep saying we're defending ourselves, we're defending our self-defense, but obviously that's not a self-defense. This is a destruction. This is a genocide. This is an ethnic cleansing. It's very obvious. We can tell and we can see. I mean, just the past few days, 3 prisoners, Israeli prisoners, they just, hold the white flags and give all the signs possible. These are innocent civilian human, yet they shot them intentionally. See how they got exposure. That is just a small example of how the Palestinian civilian children and women had to go through every day. And that's the same people on the Israeli side, and the US government keeps saying this is the most moral military. They have all the ethics and skills and expertise. They are doing surgical operations and all these fancy schmancy terms that you can't believe it anymore, because they keep killing their own people. They keep killing their own people, unfortunately. In reality, that tells you who are they after. They're after every human life.
In general, it's much bigger than what
it's. Until people go to the south and then they bomb the south. Go to the schools, they hit the schools. Mosques, churches, hospitals, everywhere. There is no such safe place in Gaza. Gaza is so tiny, and they just keep killing. They don't have any target anymore. They just kill everything. There are no buildings left, unfortunately.
So
we really want this to reach an end. It's more than enough.
Reality is like the message has to be about rebuilding them almost already.
Yeah, I mean, this is another challenge. I mean, when they even stop this, that rebuilding of Gaza will take tens of years, because they still control everything, and then letting the material get in, and who can build and when and how. That's been struggles, because from previous experiences in 2014, 2021, 2008, it's been really challenging. I can assure you, people, some homes were bombed in 2014, still has never been built because of the blockade. Yes, it's a blockade. We have nothing. Everything has to come through the Israeli. They have to accept it and allow it. And they always say, oh, this is a dual usage material. We cannot allow it in. And go figure what is that means. Anything can be dual usage material. A bottle of water can be used to drink water and can be used for something else. Oh, this is dual usage. This is not allowed. There's no fixed or set of criteria, and a list says what's allowed or what's not. They keep changing things as they see it fit.
Christmas is about the birth of Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ stood for peace. Jesus Christ stood for the oppressed people. Jesus Christ would not stand for the slaughter of over 20,000 Palestinian human beings, much less the displacement of millions more.
I would say let's give them a moment of silence, but they deserve us to never speak again if we don't free them. I'll allow us to pray for a free Palestine and a land that we can all go back to. Thank you.
About 30 Palestinian supporters gathered at Ferdinand Plaza for a candlelight vigil last night. The group decorated a Christmas tree with ornaments picturing civilians they say they've lost during the conflict. One speaker told the crowd he lost 27 family members last week. Organizers are planning a march and a rally for Palestine.
I told them that we lost 27 people.
They want their names. I have all their names if they like their names.
Oh, it's plenty more than 27.
I have more too.
We have more. How many do we need to tell them that we lost for them to believe that we lost some? I got silenced on a speech I gave entirely about the fact that they are killing our family members. Like,
they don't want to hear the truth. What more do you want? They don't want to hear the truth or facts, okay? That's already done. You already know that is the fact. They don't want to hear the truth, okay? We don't matter. We don't matter. Arabs, they don't matter.
How many more do they want to believe people are being slaughtered every day?
We lost our health.
I just heard the news today, 8 of my immediate family members, just today. If I'm able to talk to a family member tomorrow, I'll hear more people are being killed. This just This is the reality.
I mean, they're just reporting numbers saying that, oh, they died. But then they flip it around when it talks about Israelis being killed. They're really trying to whitewash everything to make it look like, oh, Palestinians dying is not a big deal. They're just numbers.
What's the difference with an Israeli civilian and Palestinian civilian?
One is white and one is brown.
Are they even white though? Did you see the photos that they showed? They're just...
For them it's more whiter than us.
Is it really a color difference?
That's one way. I mean, they are Muslim and non-Muslim because they are Jews and we're Muslims. We're brown and they are white. They look like them. They share a lot of things. They think they look alike. They act alike. They're one.
Oh, they have money.
Oh.
They have money for all
Yeah,
their
so they can make the news do whatever they want. That's what the kind of money that they have.
So that's why their lives matter, not Palestinian lives.
We have our support and our tax.
Our tax money behind them.
Yeah.
We have Allah with us. Alhamdulillah.
We have the truth on our side.
We have
And
the
history
truth.
is on
We
our
have the
side.
truth.
You can see
The history and the truth.
the fact that they put pictures of the 3 hostages. When I said I have 27 family members that got killed, they didn't care to ask, can we have some photos of your family
They are
members?
human.
How can you even get photos because people are still under the wreckage?
There's
you want
no-
to go under the wreckage and get people taking photos of.
No, I'm saying in general. Where do we get to have our funerals for these people?
They don't. I swear to God, my dad told me. One of my family members just didn't even know, and one of them, the dogs were eating my cousin. The dogs. I heard it today. My cousin was killed, and because they couldn't even get closer, the dogs were eating his body. And the other one, they didn't even know where it was buried because they do massive, they collect all of them, dig a big hole, and they dump them all. And go figure.
Why are they treating this like it's a real war though?
It's not a real war. It's just a killing. How you have airplane shooting and destroying all the building on top of the people?
And you claim you want...
It's a war between states, between military power. We don't have military power.
So that's
it's
what
just
we
a war
want.
against the civilians and the homes and the children and the women.
Hospital, mosque,
and that's
churches.
all what we can see, whether you like it or not. The reality is mainstream media doesn't want to show you the truth.
What do you think about
Tell us about Gaza.
What do you think about what's happening?
It's not a war. It's a genocide. You can't go killing unarmed women and children and then injuring 50,000 plus people and killing 19,000 plus people. Or was it 18,000?
No, 20.
At least
Got it. I mean,
now it's
how many injuries are
You can't
getting
go killing people and then calling it self-defense. It's not.
and starving them?
It's not. Depriving them of food, water, electricity, fuel, basic necessities, and then calling it self-defense, that's not self-defense.
Maybe they just don't care. No. I believe they'll want to know more. They'll want to bring back our home. Surely. Because now, they know what I know. And they've now seen what I've seen. And they've now felt what I felt. And maybe now they might share the stories I've spoken, and they might do what I would do and not turn away. Protect our home. Gaza is our home. Here I am, 2 days prior to the release of this film, and as I was attempting to present the journey our family has to take to Gaza, I uncovered some very disturbing images. And it shows the clear intention behind the occupying forces. Bear with me while I show you the utter destruction that we witnessed firsthand in 2021, and that now, finally, I am able to actually display to you as well. This is the border between Egypt and Gaza. All the homes absolutely demolished. These were a simple people with small pieces of land, gardens, farmers. So many homes destroyed. War. What you're seeing here, this is not from war. This is a clear destruction of society.
Palestinians are in the hands of God. The real nightmare is those of us who have the privilege to speak up and don't use it. There are words that you will regret that you did not get to say when it comes to fighting for justice and fighting for the liberation of the Palestinian people. The issue is not complicated, nor is it complex, nor is it difficult to grasp. If you can understand oppression, indignity, killing in cold blood, then you can understand the issues that are happening in Palestine, and you can understand why you must speak up for the Palestinians. If not for them, then for yourself. We must all come together and call for a ceasefire now, a permanent ceasefire, and for the liberation of the Palestinian people, and to no longer send so-called aid to the Israeli military, the Israeli government, and the settler colony state. It is our responsibility and our job as global citizens to do so. And it is our job as American citizens to especially do so, because it is our government that is funding them, it is our government that is supporting them, and it is our government that allows the genocide to continue to occur every single day. With this, I have to end with La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There is no power nor strength except with God. And we will see a free Palestine.
This on? Wow. Wow. Can I get another round of applause for Monir? Oh. All right. Raise your hand if you cried. Yeah. All right. Now, everyone who just raised your hands, you are now legally obligated to donate to this project. Okay, I'm just kidding. But I did want to, before we get into a Q&A or anything like that, just kind of let all of you know that this whole project is only possible thanks to donations. The whole project of screening it, of being able to show it to other people. I know there were so many times during that movie that I was just overcome with this feeling of, well, like the beginning of the movie said, if only they could see this. If only they knew what I was seeing. If only they could see what I was seeing. Well, the only way to make that happen is to support filmmakers like Monir and anyone who is sharing all of this horror from Gaza, from Palestine. And I have some friends, I think, who are coming around with some little cards that have information on ways that you can support the project. There is a raffle. Thank you. On these cards, you're going to have a QR code. So there are ways that you can just donate money to this project. There is a monthly support option, which obviously is going to help out the most. There is also a QR code if you, wherever you are coming from, if you know of a venue that would host a screening, that would be immensely helpful as well. And then if you would like to buy some raffle tickets for one for $5, three for $10, we are raffling off these Gaza is Our Home hats that are really nice corduroy hats and a really nice backpack as well. So my friends are going to come by with the raffle information and the little cards for you. We appreciate Monir so much for bringing this to Kansas City and want to see it everywhere. So thank you.
It's just water. The vending machine didn't have any water. It's a heavy. Every screening is heavier than the last. However, it's also more empowering with the new faces I'm seeing here and with the sustained continued showing up. It means a lot to my family. I'm trying to share this space right now in a way that allows us to take a second to really slow down and recharge our pursuit for justice and to comprehend, I think, our responsibility, but also our collective capability and power. I want us to really identify and I encourage us all to reflect deeply on our privileges and our blessings that are around us at this moment. And if we even tried to even begin to list the resources that are at our disposal to make an impact for the people of Palestine. We have way more capability than I think we often utilize. And it comes from us really putting that extra 10% into building the future that humanity is desperate for. And our future generations are owed us to take that call seriously. I mentioned at the beginning that this is an invitation into my family because there's no reason my family is from Gaza and yours isn't. None of us did anything special to not be born there. And with that comes the nightmarish reflection on what makes us feel so divided from them. What makes us any different to the fears that we're lucky we're not truly experiencing. But what that comes with as well is reflecting on the strength that we can actually possess just by seeing even a simple film that only covered the first 90 days of this tragic, undescribable, horrifying, children slaughtering nightmare that has been staining us as a nation. We are on the side that is against the slaughter of thousands of children. And so we remaining silent in turn devalues our very own children beyond our comprehension. And so shame to anyone who is on the opposite side, who is supporting the continued most sophisticated weapons used on an unarmed civilian population and on my family and our family. My name, Munir Shar. Munir means enlightened in Arabic, and Shar is poet. It's funny, I used to think my name meant light when I was growing up in high school as American. I was like, why do I have the most strange name out of anyone? I grew up in a completely conservative town in America. All my friends, their family members were either veterans, military, active duty, contractors, you name it. I grew up in their houses. My mom was basically their second mom. And yet we're extremely disappointing in the apathy that they have enabled themselves to live through and live within the bubble that is conservative America, I suppose. I say that to express how when I made my film, it was directly for my neighbors, and I haven't done a screening in my local neighborhood or my local town, and I wished I could find some of the veterans that I know in my hometown here, and unfortunately, there's no Veterans for Peace chapter there. What you would think, though, any veteran should be for peace, as I mentioned. I wish that when I made my film at the beginning of this genocide, I really was under the impression that it was going to stop it. That was every ounce of my being came into this film to do so. And so I'm hoping we can continue to share it with those that may be a stepping stone for them to get involved in a deeper sense. I know it requires an insane, naive perspective, but it's the actual only right way I can operate is to know that we will see a free Palestine. From the reality is it's my family can't even have the prison that is 25 miles by 5 miles in peace. They can't even have the access to their own sea in the backyard. I think from the river to the sea, they deserve the planet. And my ideal, and I'm going to hopefully manifest this continually. They deserve a private jet so I can let them tour the world the way that they actually deserve. So if anyone knows a guy, let me know. I just don't understand how some fancy artist making music specifically that distracts us from what matters, or specifically to make systems of corruption that are anti the future livableness, like capacity for our generations to exist with freedom, are still getting their private jets. So I'm gonna say one of these days you're gonna see my grandma Sabah landing here from the airport that we will build back in Gaza. And they will be honored the way I wished I could my whole life. With that, I do want to open up. I know we only have a limited amount of time, but for any questions and thoughts, reflections. Yeah. Someone want to be my little mic runner?
Yeah. Well, if you don't have any Veterans for Peace in your town, I think we could bring some Veterans for Peace and go knocking on every door in your neighborhood and ask for every veteran to come to be with.
Oh, no.
Peace, host something. So what?
I can tell you that privately, if that's okay. I don't.
Okay. Well, you got to tell these whole people.
I
'cause
will.
they're
I
gonna
will. No,
come.
I will. I'll share more. But it's North Florida.
You can do that. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
that's exactly what we're for. And we host a lot of things all over the country. And how many of you all are going to host this in your for your chapter in your hometown?
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
So,
Now we're talking, and then you just let us know where you live, and there'll be a big contingent of Vets for Peace to go talk to your neighborhood. Thank you.
I'd be so grateful and honored. Thank you. Yes. And thank you. Yeah, I've had many dreams of having that happen, and I think we will definitely make it unfold now that I've
manifest, baby.
I'm saying, and that's what I see about this convention. You guys could have not done it. You guys could not be here. I mean, think about it. Like, I can't thank you guys enough for making it happen, for going out of your ways to come out here on your own dimes, to still believe, even though the whole tragedy and what they're fighting us against is to have hope and belief and goodness in each other. And they think that they can take away our smiles, but my family, anytime I call them, they're laughing more than we are. So what's our excuse? Yes. Question over here.
In addition to Ann's idea, do we have permission to use this? May we show this to friends and neighbors and other beyond even Vets for Peace?
Of course. I'm gonna give you guys a little more context. When I made the film, I put it immediately. It was like I couldn't gatekeep the story that's missing, the story that explains my family's plight and our family's pain. So It's been available for free since I've finished it, and yet it's not getting any traction. I don't have any big media campaigns or press pushing. And so I'm hoping that each of you can activate some big press, potentially in any capacity, even influencers that you may know of, to promote and share this documentary. It's free on my website as well, GazaIsOurHome.com. I don't know if we continue passing around the cards, but you can access everything directly on there, as well as bookings for screenings. If I can't make it to Vietnam, I think, right, I'll still do a Zoom call for now until I get that private jet. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not trying to actually get it private. Yeah.
I just want to say what a phenomenal job you did with that film. It's a stark reality that we all sometimes forget about, the mass destruction of war. And war is never the answer, ever the answer. And I'm hoping that Gaza sometime finds peace to rebuild. I mean, I know it's incredibly difficult to do at this time because there's really nothing left. There's really nothing left. And the fact is, it's a parking lot pretty much where there was a city and all these people were killed. And I just want to say for you, I'm very, very sorry for your family. You lost your family members. And I want to say that we support Gaza. As Veterans Peace, we support Gaza on 150%. And we will always support Gaza. And I want to let you know that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You did a good job in the film of pointing out it's not a war, it's genocide. There's no defense going on there. It's just pure murder.
Yeah. I want to add, often we say it's a parking lot, we question the capacity for rebuilding or this, it's a common framing of how bad things are there. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with is thinking that that's the case. I need that to be erased from our mindset. The Palestinian people and my family, their resourcefulness is unmatched. Their simple request and desire is for the borders that are suffocating them to open. It's not a high request. It's the simple reality is once they decide to click the button to end this nightmare, which is to open the gates of Rafah, my family will rebuild the homes better than they were. And by the grace of God, we will dig my mom's sister out of the rubble, and we will give them the burials that they deserve. I really am just I want us to navigate the reality that we're seeing something that this last 3 years unfolding in front of our eyes has set precedences that we have. It's not for my family at this sake. My family has shown how strong they are, how much they can handle. And at this point, the real test is on us. Each and every one of us and the people in this city of Kansas City and the people of this country. The real test is on us coming together to navigate the disregard for human life that has unfolded for the last 3 years, that has been neglected to be shared with us on the mainstream media. And it is something out. The worst dystopian films or movies could not even come close to the actual reality that we're facing right now. And yet, the most fascinating part about it is that we can see the other side, and that the sun exists, that there is light, and that darkness does go away. And we have to cure ourselves of that darkness. And it comes from the daily interactions that you have, and you have to accumulate these daily interactions that we're facing to either end or to be suffocating in this nightmare is up to us. And so I'm asking, and my family is just continue giving that extra 10% to navigate and to support this project as well as projects like it and my future films. Like the funny aspect is when I see the millions and billions of dollars that these production studios, they call themselves, they look like concentration camps for art and factories of media consumption. Concentration camps suffocating artists and pulling them and spending yet millions upon millions to produce these distractions, from superheroes to the most mind-numbing and pointless films that they pump out. Either they're neglecting the fact that the camera is a weapon, or in fact, they're doing the opposite. They're using it as they're intending, which is to not let us empower each other and enlighten each other. I find it really struggles lately using my camera. It almost like I used to enjoy creating beautiful videos and photography, and knowing how critical the way in which you use the film camera is one of the most, how it is the most consequential device mankind has created in terms of permitting some of these atrocities. And the tool that it is must be understood effectively. So I'm going to be fully transparent here with this realities. I get often requests if I've done this, or if I've filmed, if I've contacted this person, or if I couldn't have even made it this far if I had been relying on doing those things. So what I'm requesting, and this is where I seek immense involvement from any of you. And just as Tom can mention, he is the reason I'm even here. Basically, like every little aspect of you guys' support, whether it's a single connection, a single phone call, enables the next steps of where I can take this. So like I mentioned, Tom came to a screening I had set up with Miranda, who's back there, in Stray Cat Theater in Kansas City in November, I think. And he shook my hand. He says, I'm gonna screen your film here at this church. I always shake. I'm constantly trying to make, and that's why I apologize if I ever seem like I neglect the connection. I'm just burnt out slightly. I've been constantly making connections, trying to find the next screening or the next opportunity to share this film. But yeah, Tom hosted me at the community, Walnut Gardens Community of Christ. And then I met Charles here, who I asked, hey, I saw his VFP hat. I said, do you have a national connection? I'm looking for national connections for any reason. And he said, here, I was scrambling, write down your info. I wrote down my info because I didn't have a good card to give him. And he gets back to me 2 weeks later, get a call from Bryson. And I mean, these connections to me mean more than anything. So long story short, if you know Amy Goodwin, or you can reach out on my behalf, and you can connect her to my assistant, or like any aspect of facilitating connections is really what helps the most, especially with media and press, and just constant outreach on the film's behalf makes a big difference. There's one.
I just wanted to I just wanted to say something along with promoting the movie and all the stuff. There's something that's going to be discussed tomorrow, but I just wanted to bring it up today. What we have to do is also, aside from calling to screen the movie and whatnot, we got to call our representatives. This is a very big year. November, the midterms, it's a very big opportunity for us to be able to move the needle in our direction. So I really encourage you guys, along with calling for the screening of this movie, contact your representatives, tell them, hey, watch the movie, number one. Number two,
thank you.
When you go back to the voting polls, research. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but research and see who's out there. See what they stand for. Do they align with your morals and your values? And then place your vote. I don't know about you guys, but I know I can name at least 20 people in my life that don't vote. And I think that's just ridiculous. So I think we have to get back to the polling, to the voting booth, and encourage everyone that we know to go back and vote as well.
Thank you. That's such a good point. And I mean, I was just talking about having like, where are the Kansas City representatives? Like, I wish I could have had them here. I want to do a showing for Congress. Let them see what they've been pretending they're not doing. You know, they have way more access than this film shows, right? But yet, in that same regard, this is a good community building film, and it's a way in which you can get people, I think, involved. The idea being, though, that like supplementing the screening with an action list for them to make a difference after the screening. I mean, it's hard to navigate all the different levels of civic engagement. And so, but there's the reasons we need to be more structured and more overall building infrastructure that enables a lasting freedom for not just the people of Palestine, but the world at large. And even freedom from ourselves in this country of spoiledness, freedom from being worried we're not going to have enough, or being worried that we can't take care of each other properly. Because it shows that we actually really can, and we've just been convinced and brainwashed to think otherwise. Yeah, we have a question here. Okay, yeah.
Do you think about justice? And what does justice look like to you? Thank you.
I appreciate that question, because it's difficult to even contemplate what justice would be like. The concept itself is so foreign but real. It seems specifically in regards to suffering that they've faced over the last 3 years, unattainable in that reality. However, when I look at justice and what I try and what I see from my family, and what they believe is their pursuit of justice is in the mercy that they still possess. Their capacity to still have compassion and not being the most jaded, soulless beings, at which by all means they have every right to be. They're actually the opposite. They're wholesome still. Their justice is within their strength, I think. However, I think what I think about more than justice is acknowledgement, true acknowledgement. And then I think more than justice, I think about duty and responsibility that we possess, that we have the requirement to either pursue justice properly, meaning taking into account truly the nightmare they're facing, and making sure and checking ourselves that we're doing the most that we can with their given capacities. I think that means having the uncomfortable conversations all the time and not backing down from them, and handing, continuing to build awareness, right? But having that radical belief that a better world is possible, and that the few that this is what this film does. I can't myself personally get this in front of the audiences I wish that it's for exactly. But I know in this room, we can bring this film and this story that has been, and you have to realize this truly, everyone, again, we have to reframe the reality that a lot of people have not and have been consistently scrolling past as quickly as they possibly can from this nightmare that we have been choosing to witness. Meaning their ability to have care and empathy is not by really their own fault. They've just kind of convinced themselves of this darkness that they're, and I mean, some people, I'm going to say, might require, God's justice. However, I want us to remember that the next person does not, you don't know, like every person, every interaction can be different. And so sitting your friends down, especially those that might have not even a care in the world about Palestine with this film, like we don't know the ripples that creates. It enables me and others to speak up. Maybe like it changes public policy, whether we believe it or not. It is making a massive impact. It's allowing us to continue. And so, especially anyone who doesn't look like me, perhaps, should enlighten and lift you guys up to make these uncomfortable conversations continue. But I don't know if that was justice, but we're still a little bit ways away. I need to get freedom before I can get, my family needs freedom before they can get justice.
On justice, I've done a little bit of theological training, and what I see is from the Abrahamic religions, which of course are Jewish, Christian, and Muslim. The Zionists have no part of this tradition because the original Aramaic word for justice, tzedkah, means literally showing mercy to the poor. So we grow up with this American notion of justice, where justice is equal, right? We have a blindfolded lady, right? That's our symbol. Why? So she can't show any preference. That is entirely unbiblical. If you go back to Yahweh, Jesus, and Muhammad, it's the preferential option for the poor. Now, sometimes that can be codified in law. And that's exactly what happened after the Israelis conquered the occupied territories in June of 1967, 59 years ago, if my arithmetic is correct. The UN decided that Israel must leave the occupied territories, and it was unanimous November 1967, unanimous, all countries voting for that. A few years later, Menachem Begin bragged about the fact that they're not only going to do that, but there was really no threat from Cairo. Nasser was not going to threaten them. So my final thing is here, we need to be part of the resistance, okay? The resistance is codified in law. As a matter of fact, the law provides that there can be armed resistance against the occupier. We are nonviolent people, so we're not going to use armed resistance, but that's on the books, okay? So when we join that, we have good friends, including Iran. Now, the other Arab countries, the rich ones, don't give a rat's patootie about Gaza, but Iran does, and it's in the memorandum of understanding there. We have kind of an altruistic view from Iran, which aren't even Arabs, but they think very, very clearly that Lebanese people who are being occupied, that Gaza people they're included in the first article of the memorandum of understanding.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
on the books.
So
I'll stop now, but I just want to say that justice is,
around the corner. Okay, yeah. Thank you for sharing, and it's important that we do take in the faith discussions in account. And my faith starts with one, and I'm gonna leave you with this before we start any chapter of the Quran. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So in the name of God, most merciful, most compassionate. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise is due to God, the most merciful. Alhamdulillah. Ar-Rahman Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen. That is the first chapter of the Quran. In the name of God, most merciful, we ask that you guide us to the straight path, the path of those who you have blessed, and not of those who have incurred your anger or wrath. And that you make us among those that you show mercy to. So I pray that for all of us here, that we continue to show mercy to one another, and that we take the strength of the faith that was sent down to the leaders of man we are endowed with the faculties of compassion, and we have forgotten how to use it truly. So I hope we can make an impact the way that they deserve, which we will. And I will see all of you in Gaza, and we will help them rebuild. Thank you.
Amen.
I know it's getting late here. Yeah. You want to do the raffle? Any last calls for the raffle for the hats? $5 for one entry.
Okay, I'm gonna close down the Zoom
course.
here, and I just want to invite people after the raffle, as you clean up their stuff and don't leave your junk in the room, you can continue to discuss together. But I just want to thank Dr. or
I was taking a little.
want to thank you for being here.
I
So
appreciate it.